This is Ouchie Dumpling, resident old lady from the RSG community, and recovering SWGOHolic. And you're listening to the Escape Pod. I cannot do that pause. I swear every time I hear it, I have a seizure. This show should have an audio epilepsy warning just for that pause. I'm not doing it. I'm just not doing it. The Escape Podcast was recorded in front of a live Twitch audience, not a twitchy audience. However, anytime I hear that pause, I start to twitch. Take it away, boys.
One is a Grand Arena Specialist from the UK. The other is a Territory Battle Tactician from the US. Together, there are no signs of intelligent life on board. But with both having decades of hosting experience under their belt, the one thing we are sure of is you will be entertained. This is the Escape Pod Cast, a weekly look into the mobile game Star Wars: Galaxy of Heroes. Live from the Nerdy Network studios of Yavin 4, here are your hosts, Neil Andrew Eyre and Paul Anthony.
Coming up on this week's edition of the Escape Pod Cast.
Profundity gets a date.
Jabba gets a tease for his date.
They are slowing down a cadence.
And the best way to bury a news story, Neil, is
to release it near the end of the day. Friday. Taking out the trash day.
Ah, yes, we're going to discuss all these things and more this week.
Ah, yes, a very info-laden week, wasn't it?
You got some good, you got some bad, but you'll get it all on this week's show.
I got us a good guest, Paul.
Did you finally get me Jim Cummings or Timothy Zahn?
Not yet, but we are both still working on that. I got us Ranger instead.
Ah, well, I look forward to seeing all the skewers in the chat then as well.
The latest episode of Dickie and the Noob plays again.
Along with Patreon's choice, On the Bridge.
All this and breaking news as and if it happens.
Right here on the Escape Pod Cast.
The Escape Pod Cast News.
Here we go.
Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of the Escape Pod Cast. I'm your host, the Nev, and as always, I'm joined by my hetero live partner, Paul Anthony. Paul, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. It'd be better if I, remembered to push the button. You'll remind me to do that at the end of the show.
Yeah, I mean, I can't remind you. I can't remind you at the beginning of the show.
Oh my gosh, it has been a interesting week. How's work treating you? Before are you able to get all that aggression out?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm doing fine. Yes, everything's going well.
It's been it has been a definitely interesting week, if you will, because we had a tease on the Profundity. Well, we got the Profundity date.
Yeah.
Then we got a tease about Jabba's date.
Yeah.
And then, I know we're saying just what we said in the intro, but then they put it on Garbage Day. If you don't want something to be seen in the news, you do it on a Friday night. Dr. Feelgood, thank you for the 666 bits. Let's start off with an oldie but a goodie. Appreciate the that was
I forgot about that one. Me going a little bit nuts. Totally forgot that.
Yeah. So Cass says, is Bob watching too much Droid Hub? No, Bob's persona ended up not being able to make it tonight, so we wish him the best and hope that he can join us next week. Cass, thank you for the 100 bits. We have just over 4 minutes. We might be able to get a hype train going before the show. We would love to hit a certain number today. It'd be great if we can, but if not, hopefully you'll get something over the weekend and we can get a payout.
Would be nice.
Would be nice. But let me pull up the announcement here that they talked about the Profundity and Omicron update. So they said Admiral Radis's pride to enjoy the Profundity, aka the Rebel flagship from Rogue One, is coming to Galaxy of Heroes. We wanted to give you a refresher on how to obtain the ship. Remember, we need Radis at 9, Cassian at 8, Rendar at 7, Mothma at 5, Biston at 5, Jin at 5, Hera at 5, and then all the ships at 7-star: Ghost, Rebel Y-Wing, Biggs, Wedge, Biston, Cassian, and Outrider.
Mm-hmm.
Then they dropped this little bit. In terms of balance, the Profundity is meant to challenge the top of the meta Executor. For example, in GAC, if you put the Executor on defense, the Profundity is meant to beat it. If you put the Profundity on defense, the Executor is meant to beat it. Interesting. And then
the thing is that they can that's enforceable. They can put that in the code. That when say you put your Executor on defense and I attack you with Profundity, the code inherently uses something very, very specific, like attack sequence wise, that guarantees Profundity gets the victory, and vice versa. If the Profundity is being guided by the AI and not by an actual person, the code will be there to fix Profundity so that it will use a turn order that means it gets defeated by Executor. They could totally make that happen.
I want to make it known that I was right
About specific. What were you right about specifically?
The Profundity details: release date August 31st.
August 31st, yeah.
Event start September 1st at noon. I was absolutely right that we're going to get the Profundity on the 1st and the Executor on the 15th. 1st and 15th. 1st and 15th. That's how it's going to go.
Yeah, that was a prediction that you made, yes.
And it will be available
because there was already one bang in the middle of the. I mean, they could have picked any number, but you specifically said they'll just go with the first of every single month, and it automatically puts 15 days between those two ships events as they rerun every single month.
At least 15 days.
Yeah, it's going to be clearly this ship, the Profundity, is going to have an identical event to the Executor.
Yeah, Advanced Fleet Mastery. We knew that.
It's just similar requirements and basically the same event for two ships of that OP-ness. So I mean, you could put them both on defense.
Well, don't you remember? Don't you remember when the Get 2 was the big thing and they put ships into GAC and people were moaning, oh, they're going to put the Negotiator on defense. I won't be able to beat it. And then welcomes the Malevolence.
It's going to be pretty damn interesting if you see both Profundity and Executor on defense in GAC.
That's where you're spending your money, Neil. If you're spending your money,
you'd have to get some good RNG on the first order, but there needs to be a non-first order, non-Executor counter to the Profundity, and it needs to be found really, really quickly.
Or it might be the win button. But at the same time, if I'm saving mine for offense,
it could just it could be a way to play it safe. Lock up a territory that if you can't do it, then your opponent's not going to be able to do it. It locks up a territory, that puts the match down to a three territory match. not having to worry about ships, just, put it to one side, forget the banners. I ain't getting them, they ain't getting them. All I need to work on is, ground crew. That's where your game. You only need to concentrate on that if you're putting up, because that's what I see it doing in GAC. That's what's going to happen when those people when those Profundity, because that's exactly what the Executor was smacked on defense the second it came out. Everybody was putting it on defense. I have there's no way that the same thing is not going to happen with the Profundity. People are going to be like, oh, 7-star Profundity and Executor. Yeah, get past that.
Anytime that they release something new, putting it on defense is your best bet, even if it's not built up. Right now, there are teams with Chrysanthemum that are holding because people don't know how to deal with it. There's teams with Skiff Guard that not nobody, but your general population is like, what the hell is this crap? Inquisitors were like that right off the bat.
Yeah.
So,
but Inquisitors have a bad rap.
They do, because I drank the Inquisitor Kool-Aid thinking, all right, cool. Let me get, let me have this off-meta counter, and it really doesn't.
No,
it really doesn't.
It's not to mention all of the wasted Omicrons. I mean, it has one good use, and that's in Territory Wars, and that's it.
Yeah, it's not Grand Arena.
No, it's not. No. Unfortunately not. No. Nay.
So, here's another thing. At the end of this, talking about the Profundity Omicron update, in addition to that, we're looking to do a tie-in with the new show Andor, so be on the lookout for a future update that will include an Omicron for Cassian Andor. There is, of course, Cassian's U-Wing. Is there any possibility that the Omicron that you put on Cassian Andor affects the ship to where it becomes meta-defining?
Can't see him. Yeah. That's way too speculative. I'm not touching that. I'm not touching that. It's no. There's just whoa.
Why not? That's what people come to us to do.
Pontificate. I just think that something like that would just. I mean, there's too much going on in the game at the moment for them to pass Omicron bonuses onto ships. Because specific to the crew member of that ship, obviously, So a Vader Omicron would then affect his ship, There are, what about an Omicron on Bosk? I mean, my God, he's already an annoying tank. Can you imagine doing so? I'm not sure. Are there any characters that are the crew that have Omicrons that are on ships?
There are Akbar. Admiral Akbar's Omicron actually gives him a little bit more speed. So if it's on, and it's because it's on one of the later, it's on one of the abilities that was already a high level to begin with, ranking up the abilities themselves. So it's, I don't know, if they do it right, that ship gets a little bit more speed. Maybe it's faster than the Razor Crest, faster than the, I don't know the numbers off the top of my head, but maybe the Profundity, we don't even know the Profundity kit yet. Maybe the Profundity gives every Rogue One ship a bonus in speed, and then that one extra speed makes sure that Cassian's ship is faster.
It's a bit expensive for one speed, isn't it? Expensive resource for one speed.
But that
and then it gets cancelled.
Okay.
And then it gets cancelled out. It gets cancelled out against other people that have put the Omicron on that character. So two people have, and
it becomes a coin flip.
Other.
And it becomes a coin flip. Yes,
goes back to being a coin toss.
But remember, you're playing rock paper, and there's no scissors in this situation.
Yeah.
But executor over profundity, profundity over executor.
Here's the thing. I would like, if I'm being honest, I want to see a pause on all new things coming to Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, because with the way that Datacrons are in the game and the way they're being rolled out, and we've been dealing with this for months now. This isn't a matter of weeks. This is a matter of months. I'm reticent to see CG move forward with any changes when clearly there are mitigating circumstances and issues regarding the current new thing that they've put into the game. And I'd like to see them get that fixed first before pressing forward with any, we need to move this forward and we need to move this forward. And, sooner or later, they completely forget about the thing that they should have been fixing,
Thank you, Abby Cat, for the 500 bits. Very much
Governor.
Appreciated.
I'd like to see a pause on anything. New characters, that's not a pause. I'm not, like major tweaks to the existing system already as it is. That's what I mean. No new tweaks to that. Just fix what needs to be fixed. And make changes to Datacrons.
What do you say needs to be fixed? The changes to Datacrons, you're saying? Well, we're going to be getting into that in a moment.
That needs, they need to get that squared away before proceeding on to something else. Because if they move on to something else and that gets messed up, then they've got two things that they need to sort out. And if they move on again and that doesn't get implemented, sufficiently good enough, then they'd have three things. There's no point in piling up these things and sweeping things under the rug, or not taking something very, very specific particularly seriously. The Datacron thing, obviously, there's a post and we'll discuss that as well. It's a very, very important issue. It's almost as I'd say it's almost as serious as the territory war incident of 2019, where the entire community basically went to CG. Don't ever, ever, ever make these changes to territory wars permanent or do them again in the future. You remember that was the whole voting thing. You remember voting on what characters could and could not go in territory wars, and the entire community just went absolutely apeshit. It was cut off at the knees immediately.
Well,
that kind of thing.
I mean, not everybody in the community was so upset to that point, but I mean, we talk about this for, this is one of those times when I wish we had Bob. And I'll take a look to try to figure this out, but we're talking the same type of things that Datacrons are doing what territory wars did, with making them have special abilities.
Yeah.
All hands on deck, they could put that into a Datacron. Turning the murder bears up to, 1,000%.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, it's something that they did in territory wars. So they're trying to push the modifiers no longer in a guild-wide event, but a specific personal event, and allowing it to leak into other PvP things.
Yeah.
But a PvE player, somebody that plays plays for territory battles, plays for, ships, like myself, gets left in the dust. And we brought that up to Crumb 2 weeks ago. Where's the reason I want to do anything with Datacrons if all it is for those, I hate to say it, but the wiener wagging crew, Look at how big my rank is. Yeah.
The big wallets, yes. The big guns. Indeed.
But
yes.
But then Datacrons are also affecting you. What were you telling me right before the show?
Oh, this 3-month test I've been doing with Datacrons just descended into a complete and utter chaos. Started off the first month started off all right, 3 accounts, one with none, one doing it a little bit, and one really trying on it. That month, but the second month, it just didn't even do the lowest account. The time sink into the game made it physically impossible for me to do a test across 3 accounts because I simply did not have the time to do the third account. So it basically went down to 2 in the second month, and I didn't get every single one in. Sometimes I couldn't stream. There was just so and then it's a case of playing my main account and barely playing the alt account just to try and keep up with the extra time sink. To the point where I didn't even join GAC on my main alts because I just didn't. It completely slipped my mind because I just had other things to do and I didn't have the time. Don't get me wrong, I wasn't missing anything on my main account. Nothing got missed on my main account, but I just didn't have the spare time to do alts, and I don't feel excited about streaming because I don't know if I'm going to come up against someone whose account I look at and think, yeah, you know what, this should be a competitive match, and then boom, there's a Datacron on their JMK and nothing I've got can get past it. Yeah, I know that they'll be able to more than likely be able to pull off a full clear against me. So one Datacron, one modification to one team completely changes the complexion of the match, and I'm not going to win. I've had 2 of those back to back now. I was streaming one, and the stream just ended. It's like, oh, that's it. That's literally it. I can't get past that. GAC round over. Not, maybe I could do this and hope for this or do the no shred. Not a single shred of hope, no chance. Yeah, it's 0. That it's the finality of it. It's realizing I should have some. You should look at something. Most of the time you'll look at something and go, okay, maybe I'm not going to be able to 1-shot that, but I've got the teams to 2-shot it. Or even do a triple. But when a team is smashing through your GLs and finishing because of the bonuses with full health and protection, so it's like the second team that you're putting in is starting from scratch, and it's a weaker GL. So that isn't fun. So because of the risk of that happening, because it happened on multiple occasions during 3v3, I was kind of hoping it wouldn't happen as much in 5v5, but it's happening just as much in 5v5. And the kicker, the real kick in the teeth, is the person, the person with this high level Datacron specifically for one of the GLs is one of the only a handful that they've got. They haven't even tried it. They just got extremely lucky with the resources that they had on that one Datacron. But I checked for the last week, my opponent. I checked his stats, and every single person that he beat in all 3 rounds was because his opponent could not get past that JMK with the Datacron on it. So he went 3-0 that week because of that one team and that one single Datacron on it. There's no enjoyment or entertainment value in watching a live GAC match if all of a sudden it's done, over. There is no possible way of getting past that squad. Gone. So it ends. It knocks the wind out of your sails, and you're like, oh crap. Okay, let's raid. So, there's usually a way to wind it up and wind it down.
I'm looking for where it's at, but I'm going to mention that All Hands on Deck was April 9th, 2019. So what I'm doing right now is I'm trying to find where it all started.
Where what all started?
Where the territory war special abilities started.
It was at the end of the year. It was at the end of 2018, beginning of 2019.
No, okay, April 2019, territory war abilities, April.
Yeah, no. They continued with the tweaking of the abilities, but they completely removed the voting element for characters.
They did.
The voting element for characters was earlier on in 2019.
Yeah, I still, but the abilities, what I'm trying to point out is these sound very familiar. Character-specific abilities. Captain Han Solo would get plus 50% max health, and other Han allies can't be defeated while Captain Han is active. That sounds like a Qui-Gon Jinn.
Yeah.
Oh, Omicron. Am I wrong? Han Solo. Plus 50% critical damage, and other Han allies gain a 35% counter chance. Other Han allies gain 10% turn meter to all other Han allies when damaged by an attack while Stormtrooper Han is active.
Mm-hmm.
They've just moved them from freebies to, hey, buy this ability.
Monetize it. You want these bonuses, stump up for it. Grind or buy.
Yeah. It just, and then they tried to do a 3v3 territory war, and that's when it all went to heck.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to look for that date while we take a break right here on the Escape Pod cast.
HotBot in HotUtils is one of the most comprehensive tools for Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes.
With integration into the super useful mod tool Grand Ivory, HotUtils can help you tackle some of the most difficult aspects of the game.
Not sure how to mod your roster for a certain game mode?
Use one of the many filters that automatically assigns the right mods to the right character in accordance with your guild needs.
Now with the digital features that can assist you and your guild officers in territory battles and territory wars, HotUtils is an amazing value.
And don't forget the useful tools for yourself in Grand Arena, like the in-depth and customizable compare feature.
Got multiple accounts like Neil, but not the time to remod them all?
With this one-stop utility, you can switch between your alts and never miss a mod upgrade or a mod switch before locking into GAC or territory wars.
Starting at just $5 a month, you don't want to miss out on these great tools.
HotUtils is the new official remodding service for the Escape Pod cast.
Visit HotUtils.com to learn more. That's HotUtils.com. And go ahead and spice up your Galaxy of Heroes experience.
Welcome into the Patreon leaderboard, brought to you by the Patreons of the Escape Podcast. Are you not a streamer and would like to be on the GA Center style leaderboard we do here? GA Center, of course, hosted by Nev and Ranger, who we'll have on a little bit later. They go over all the streamers' stats and see how they did in the season itself to crown a champion. We can do the same thing to you. Sign up at patreon.com/theescapepod and become a Patreon at Kyber combatant level or higher, and we'll get you on in the boards. Let's take a look at what we've got. Dr. Jojo goes 2-1 with 2,803 banners, 24 wins, 7 losses, 13 holds. That being said, he says he beat the two that were half a mil to 1 mil higher, but then got stomped by the guy that was 2 mil higher. Gotta love that. Moving down the list, we've got Force Strong 1 and 2, 2,073 banners, 18 wins, 3 losses, 12 holds. Hot Sauce goes 3-0 for the week, 5309, 42 up, 5 down, 20 holds. And Sephironis, our defending champion, goes 1 and 2 with only 461 banners, 7 wins, 0 losses, 3 holds. That's going to be hard to overcome. I go 2 and 1, 3404, 27 2 and 1 for me. Taking a look at the board, Hot Sauce is, of course, on top with that 3-0. I come in second right now. I am beating Dr. JoJo. I don't know how that happens, but it's just the banners is the difference, you know? So I guess I do know how. I got more banners. Force Strong and then Sephironis rounding out the board. Now, we're going to be back in just a moment. But once again, if you want to be on this board, patreon.com/theescapepod and sign up at the Kyber combatant level or higher. We'll get you on. Till then, be nice to each other, damn it.
Podawans, be sure to support the shows brought to you on the Escape Podcast Twitch and YouTube channel by becoming a Patreon. For as little as $2 a month, you can support us and get a little extra for yourself. With tiered rewards including after-show access, inclusion in the GA Center leaderboards, behind-the-scenes access, and much more. There is something for everyone on our Discord server. Head on over to Patreon, that is patreon.com/theescapepod and sign up today. Thank you for supporting and listening to the Escape Podcast.
You're listening to the Escape Pod Cast.
And welcome back to the show, ladies and gents. Paul, what we where's the conversation going?
Let's go to the Datacrons. I mean, that's what they dumped it on us.
Yeah.
Right at the end of the day. I'm pulling it up here to see the exact time. 4:16 p.m. Central Time. So
not that long ago.
Yeah, not that long ago.
In a galaxy not very far away.
That's after 5 p.m. on a Monday or on a Friday Eastern Time. Nobody cares about anything that happens between 5 p.m. on Friday until 9 a.m. on Monday. That's usually how the news goes.
Okay.
But
we're not the news. Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes content creating community is nothing like the news, though. It's more important through the week for us, isn't it? Because that's when everybody does their shows.
Yeah.
Although there are a smattering of weekend shows.
There are a smattering of them. Today we're going to review Datacron feedback. I'm reading the post by Meathead here. Our findings and what we plan on doing moving forward, as well as discussing Datacron Set 4 and what they entail. Datacrons are a fun and exciting way to adjust meta and give new life and purpose to characters who may no longer be in your rotation. Through our data and your feedback, we will continue to look for more ways to make Datacrons interesting to use. For the past 6 years, our ultimate goal is to create a fun experience in Galaxy of Heroes, and we'll continue to follow that mission. Are you having a fun experience, Neil?
No. I wish I could play that meme where the guys, it's the guy saying, you know, what you said makes absolutely no sense whatsoever, and everybody else in the audience and here is a little bit dumber from what's just been said. They're basically they have decided that, what was that first line again? They've decided that Datacrons are what was it? Fun and exciting.
Datacrons are a fun and exciting way to adjust meta.
They don't get to decide that. The community gets to decide that, not CG. So starting the post off with that line, it's like, you know, you might think that, but the community at large does not. So, you know, don't start off a post, you know, cramming down our throats, saying that something that you think is fun and excellent. You know, not everybody in the community feels that way. So wrong way to start off a post. Really terrible way to start off a post. And then obviously they go into actual, facts about it. But they did not enamor me with that line at the start. It's like, really, you care very little about the plethora of opinions regarding this across the community, because very diverse cross-section of opinions regarding Datacrons.
For me, the thing that is fun and exciting is the chase and the build-up to Profundity and of Jabba. I don't give a crap about Jabba. I'm going hard after Jabba. I'm not going to lie. But I don't give a crap if Jabba is going to be a PvP, god. They hooked me on Jabba when they said they're going to be putting a Jabba-specific mission in territory battles.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first galactic legend geared towards being used in PvE. I mean, Conquest has lost me because of the, pay us this so you get your battle pass. And you could do it quicker.
They created a problem, and then the solution was presented behind. Part of the solution was presented behind a paywall. Whether you wanted to go for the smaller pass or the big pass, there's two passes, right? There was a cheap one and a more expensive one, or is it just one pass?
Yeah, there's two passes. There's two
passes.
There's the get the extra rewards, and then there's the get this data disk, get some nice additional things, and then also you don't have to pay energy to change your data disks. Your energy replenishes as quick as it did when Conquest first came out. It hurts. It hurts me, Neil, to be lackadaisical about this.
Yeah.
I wanted
too whimsical for my liking.
And also, Conquest was supposed to challenge your entire roster, but they've done buckus about ships, which I also enjoy. Am I playing? I feel like maybe I'm playing the wrong game sometimes, and it hurts because I want to enjoy it. Let's move along here. They appreciate the feedback and suggestions that we've made through the first 3 sets and have adjusted set 4 in accordance to that information. Here's the things that they heard and how they addressed it. Datacrons need a longer lifespan. I feel like I don't get a chance to use them after upgrading them. Put them in PvE. Anyway, we hear you there. That's why we've decided to slow the cadence of Datacrons from farming for a month and using them for 2, and adjust it to farming for 2 months and using them for 2. This will hopefully reduce the stress some folks feel trying to rush and get their Datacrons prepared for use. For me, if they're slowing the cadence and you get the same thing, you're still getting 2 months once it's complete. So now you have to deal with a broken Datacron, because remember, they said if something breaks because of Datacrons, they're not taking it back. They're letting it ride.
They'll just let it run out, yeah. Which it's not a particularly good way of doing something, because it's like, oh yeah, that's bad. We should really take it out. Yeah, but we don't need to. We just need to create the next new shiny. That'll be gone in a couple of months, and once it's gone, people will stop complaining about it.
Oh, by the way, once it's gone, people stop complaining about it. 3v3 territory wars that never happened was December of 2019.
So long ago.
And we never got these. I mean, honestly, the way that it's coded into the game is artifact abilities. We never got any of these additional artifact abilities until Galactic Challenges, until Conquest, until now Datacrons.
Yeah.
All right, let me go back to the Datacron 4 set. With 3 sets live, it's very confusing to know where to invest or to use. There's a lot going on. Their response: we agree. The changes we plan on implementing from the above feedback will also mean that we're reducing the amount of Datacron sets live at any time from 3 down to 2. So the Datacron set's not even going to be live until after it's farmed? Is that how I'm reading this?
I don't know. I don't understand Datacrons.
Reducing
They started getting too complicated, and I'm like, beyond level 3, I haven't got a clue what they do.
Yeah. It literally says it here, reducing the amount of Datacron sets live at any time from 3 down to 2. And above it, it says farming them for 2 and using them for 2. So 2 Datacrons
only
on.
Only so it could be set 1 and set 3 that's active, or it could be set 2 and set 4 that's active, or it could be 3 and 4. Yeah, instead of having, let's say you got 20 Datacrons of each set, so you'd be going into a GAC thinking you had 60. Well, no, you'll only have 40. And since they're saying they're doing it from sets, that means at some point you're going to have to choose which 2 sets you want, or choose the set that you don't want, which is just going to annoy people, because there's no way to keep track of what Datacrons you've got, how good they are, how impressive they are, whether they're good or not. So you're going to have people with 3 big stacks of Datacrons, and they're going to have to look through every single one of them and make a decision on which 2 sets they want to go moving forward. That sounds like a lot of extra work for people that have a lot of Datacrons.
It's you're farming for the Datacrons that will be available from X day to X day. For a 2-month period, or 28-day, 2 28-day periods. Then what happens is the next month, I'm going to start over here. A and B come out, right? You're farming for 2 months. When C comes out, A becomes active. When D comes out, B becomes active. When you go back to A, C becomes active, and you're farming for A. So you've got B and C going.
Yeah.
Then when the next B comes out, you've got C and D.
Here's the thing: the way you're explaining it's fine, but not every single person that plays Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes watches this podcast or understands that. So they are overcomplicating a situation that's already complicated to so many people that they aren't bothering with Datacrons. There's a handful of people getting lucky, but
here's where it gets even worse, though, Neil. Confirm or deny. You can purchase the Datacrons themselves from the store and with hard currency in the shop. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that they're expanding it for longer means that these Datacrons are going to be you're going to be dealing with more Datacrons because they have longer to farm them and just purchase what they need.
Yeah. Nothing moving forward with Datacrons is going to have a big positive effect to the game, as far as I'm concerned. Only rolling it back to something that we can all tolerate It's the only direction that it's the only working direction CG can go. Like when we first started talking about Datacrons, when the very, very first set was out, we were like, hey, guys, you need to cut out the whole GLs being on it. Get rid of that and maybe make a couple of tweaks here and we can talk. No, they moved forward and they did more GLs and then they moved forward again. And for 3 sets, we're like, guys, you just please slow the F down, right? You're creating a mess at the moment, and right now it's just snowball, and it's just small at the moment. We can roll this button, and that's not what's happening. They are going full steam ahead with constant changes that are just going to continue to mess with the competitiveness of GAC. That's what's keeping people in this game.
I have so many Datacrons that I don't or can't invest in them due to sheer volume. After looking at this is their response, and this is where I think that it's just going to become a frickin' whale fest. After looking at the data, we noticed there are a good amount of folks who invest in a few Datacrons but have a significant amount of ones sitting in their inventory collecting dust. Well, no crap. With set 4, we adjusted the cadence in which you get Datacrons to a place where you'll hopefully only have the proper amount of ones you'll be able/willing to invest into and use, without feeling overwhelmed by the volume of ones that are presented to you. Unless your wallet, this is air quotes for the people that aren't able to see this, unless your wallet's big enough for you to invest in them.
Yeah.
Things you'll want to note is that it may feel like resources aren't flowing in over the course of these 2 months, but we've slowed down the experience to better allow players to engage at their own pace. Once again, if you want to pay for it, you can have it early.
Yeah.
This adjustment will be one of those that we keep a keener eye on through the set's life cycle. Unless there is a maximum to the number of Datacrons you can have, there is no fix to that. And finally, the other thing that they address, I never really understood where I get the materials for Datacrons. Has that been made easier? It's simple. Playing Conquest will allow you to acquire them and then upgrade them. Territory Wars will give you the ability to re-roll them if you don't like what you get. But if you don't give a crap what you get anyway, once again, Territory Wars, where all the Datacrons are literally choking the life out of the game, in my opinion. Once again,
no
re-roll
arguing
materials.
from me there.
And then you can also get materials from the Datacron shop. Once again, pay for it. They'll continue to have free and paid calendars for Datacrons, where you'll get a free version. You'll get roughly 2 Datacrons to level 3 by simply logging in. Conquest will still have a farmable Datacron node, and additive drops will not be coming back for set 4 as they're focused on making the core experience better, thus not having to rely on additive drops to equalize or boost anything. This does not mean they're never coming back, but we'll be putting more of our resources into making the main experience better at first.
Is that the end of the post?
Then they get into this set. They get in.
Okay.
They tell us what's in the set, which Gridden freaked out.
Yeah.
Because Dodge Chance is in the set.
All right, is it?
Yes. So, all those cheeky dodges that you like to talk about when you're doing your streams?
Yeah. Could be a lot more cheeky dodges on the horizon.
There's a lot more cheeky dodges on the horizon. Exactly. But armor penetration, special accuracy, resistance penetration, dodge chance, 5 to 10%, 10 to 20%, 20 to 30% dodge chance. Deflect chance is the same.
Okay. What are the characters that are going to get the beefcake treatment?
The characters are let's start with, you have Empire and Smuggler. Those are your two factions. Dark Side Empire and Light Side Smugglers.
Okay.
Light Side Smugglers, Dash Rendar, Lando Skiffguard, and Veteran Smuggler Han.
Okay, yeah.
It's Empire. Guess what? Yeah. Guess what character is one of the ones for the Datacrons for this one? Empire. Who could it be?
Okay, well, Vader's definitely there.
Which one?
Oh, which one? Oh, good, bloody hell, good point. Oh, sod it, I'll just go with both.
You're correct.
In there.
You're
Darth
correct.
Vader and Lord Vader. That doesn't surprise me. See, they listened, right? They listened. They heard us, and then they ignored us. Please stop putting GLs on these Datacrons. We've been saying that for 3 months. 3 months. Set 4 comes out. There is a GL in there. That's 3 months of them listening to us and going, no, we're not doing that. Keep putting GLs on these Datacrons.
I don't know.
I mean, here's the thing. There's no way that they did not hear the community say that over the last 3 months. They would have, in forums,
said it.
Us saying it,
you
not
said
just
it to
us saying
Crumb. You said
RSG
it to Crumb.
Said it to Crumb. So they have listened to that. They've written that down. They've taken that critique on board. Remove GLs from Datacrons. Just do other characters. Don't do the GLs. And they have gone, no, we're not going to do that. Here's Lord Vader.
I mean, they finally make him viable, I guess. His abilities. Plus 5% max health and max protection per relic amplifier level. Well, you need him at level 9, or you need him at level 7. So it's either 35, 40, or 45% max health and max protection on Lord Vader. And the damage they receive is decreased by 15%.
See, there are Lord Vader. There are Lord Vaders that are rocking really, really good Datacrons right now. So the good times are just going to keep on rolling with that GL.
And then the other one is the first time each turn gains ultimate charge, they gain an additional 6% ultimate charge.
Okay.
And then finally, whenever an enemy is inflicted with damage over time, Lord Vader gains 4% mastery, stacking until the end of battle.
Okay.
You put that with a Darth Vader team.
Yeah. Jeez.
Think about this. Think about this one. Darth Vader lead with Lord Vader with that Datacron sitting on the sideline, or not sitting on the sideline, but in the rest of the squad. Every single time a dot goes away, it is replaced.
Yeah, it's replaced.
That's
going to be an unbeatable team.
Once again,
that is going to be. It's going to be like one of the Rays or one of the JMKs or one of the Lord Vader Datacrons that have just been impossible for people to beat. That that one will be one of those impossible ones with both Vaders. It'd just be a nightmare. Be a nightmare. Throw Candyman in there with his DOT, with his dots as well. Throw the Candyman on that squad just for giggles, just to add, more pain
exactly
on your opponent as they attack.
I'm looking something up here. I want to see what Darth Vader's culling blade, what the wording is on that.
Oh, what, for his kit?
Yes, Vader's kit itself, because there's a Darth Vader one Okay, deal physical damage to target enemy and dispel all debuffs. This attack deals 50% more damage for each effect dispelled, increased to 100% against raid bosses, and grants 100% turn meter if the target's defeated. Okay, percent health damage enemies receive is increased by 300%. So that technically doesn't... with the wording, this attack deals 50% more damage for each effect dispelled, does that now mean 350% for each debuff?
Well, yeah. The more dots, the more higher the attack is. That's why That's why you needed Vader for the OG off meta counter. Remember the old off meta counter for Rey? It had Vader in it and Wat Tambor and Traya and Thrawn. You remember that one? Don't you remember that one?
I do.
Yeah. Well, the whole purpose of the culling blade was the more dots, the more damage it did. So that you could try and wipe out a Rey before she got to ultimate. So yeah, that with him in the lead his culling blade would be just unstoppable. Because there's going to be like double-digit dots on every single character. So whenever Vader uses his culling blade, it's going to be 50% more for each effect dispelled. So
if I'm wrong,
if you dispel 10 dots, it's a 500% increase.
Well, no, percent health damage enemies receive is increased by 300%. Tell me if I'm wrong.
It's gonna be a tough Datacron to get around that. It's gonna be a very, very difficult one.
But once again, if I'm wrong, come tell me and correct me. Don't be. I'm sure we'll get plenty of this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. Sure, fine. Once again, PvP, not my thing. Datacrons are only PvP, so that's the only time I'm gonna have to worry about them. But nonetheless, just learn me good. How about that? Did I get everything?
I think so, yeah.
Let me just check the... details on Jabba. I don't remember where I read it, but the last character is probably going to be announced with the road ahead, because that's when they'll release Jabba's kit. Mm-hmm. That only makes sense.
So we got to wait until mid-September for that.
But also the road ahead probably will be revealing another character, because it's going to need a new marquee, right?
Yeah, or 2 or 3. We don't know. Could be 2, could be 3. Depends how much money they want to make.
So, all right. Coming up in this break, a replay due to popular demand of Skiff Lando's story time with Uncle Thad. People loved that one, wanted to hear it again. So we're doing it again this week. We'll have a new one next week. But after the break, we'll be talking to Ranger. The Ranger from RSG, right here on the Escape Pod cast.
HotBot in HotUtils is one of the most comprehensive tools for Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes.
With integration into the super useful mod tool Grand Ivory, HotUtils can help you tackle some of the most difficult aspects of the game.
Not sure how to mod your roster for a certain game mode?
Use one of the many filters that automatically assigns the right mods to the right character in accordance with your guild needs.
Now with the digital features that can assist you and your guild officers in territory battles and territory wars, HotUtils is an amazing value.
And don't forget the useful tools for yourself in Grand Arena, like the in-depth and customizable compare feature.
Got multiple accounts like Neil, but not the time to remod them all?
With this one-stop utility, you can switch between your alts and never miss a mod upgrade or a mod switch before locking into GAC or Territory Wars.
Starting at just $5 a month, you don't want to miss out on these great tools.
HotUtils is the new official remodding service for the Escape Pod cast.
Visit HotUtils.com to learn more. That's HOTUTILS.com. And go ahead and spice up your Galaxy of Heroes experience.
Podawans, be sure to support the shows brought to you on the Escape Podcast Twitch and YouTube channel by becoming a Patreon. For as little as $2 a month, you can support us and get a little extra for yourself. With tiered rewards including access to Shitty Bill's Arena Tracking Bot, after-show access, inclusion in the GA Center leaderboards, behind-the-scenes access, and much more. There is something for everyone on our Discord server. Head on over to Patreon, that is patreon.com/The Escape Pod, and sign up today. Thank you for supporting and listening to the Escape Podcast.
Back to school. The Escape Pod, cast for kids. It's really cool.
Hello there, Padawans, and welcome back to another episode of Storytime with Uncle Thad. And what an episode I have for you today. Today, not only will we take a look at the next marquee character for the Jabba the Hutt Galactic Legend, but we were also going to take a look at the first Return of the Jedi 40th anniversary celebration character. And when I say the first character, that means there will be more. Quite possibly many, many more. So without further ado, let's take a look at Skiff Guard Lando Calrissian and where he fits in the Star Wars universe. Lando Landonus Balthazar Calrissian was a human male born on the planet Socorro somewhere between the years 43 and 31 BBY. He was a smuggler, professional gambler, entrepreneur, military general, lounge crooner, and absolute intergalactic heartthrob. Just as famous, if not more so, as his Rebel Alliance counterparts, Lando was known the galaxy over. While some of his stories can be verified as canon, many of his greatest exploits are things of legend. Lando's early years are a bit hazy, made fuzzy by history and his own personal embellishments. He both won and lost the Millennium Falcon in Games of Sabacc. With the help of his droid companion L337, Lando moved from one job to the next, gambling and smuggling and wooing and just being a dashing man about space. After a fairly eventful early life, Lando decided to take an early retirement and play Sabacc full-time. Calrissian would be pulled out of this early retirement when an old acquaintance, Kira from Crimson Dawn, called for the gambler and his droid companion to aid them in stealing coaxium from the Pike Syndicate on Kessel. Kira needed the fastest ship, and Lando had the Falcon. It was here that Lando Calrissian and Han Solo would meet for the first time, and as you're probably aware, the Kessel job didn't go as planned, leaving L337 nearly dead and the Falcon close to ruins. Lando left Kira and her crew deserted on a planet. But the next time Lando saw Han, he would lose the Millennium Falcon to the Corellian youth. Time passed and Lando found himself serving as Baron Administrator on the Tabana gas mining facility at Cloud City on the planet Bespin. But running a legitimate business in the time of the Empire was not as lucrative as Lando would have liked. All it took was one bad deal with a Dark Lord to make Lando realize that there was more to life than making money. After the events of Cloud City, Lando promised Princess Leia and Chewbacca that he wouldn't rest until he recovered the frozen body of their friend Han Solo. It's this Lando that is coming to Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, and with that, let's take a look at Lando's kit and see how it matches up with a character we know from canon. Skiffguard Lando is a cunning scoundrel attacker who assists his allies and gains stacking damage the longer he stays undercover. Lando's basic ability provides him the deep cover mechanic. It's this ability that allows him to get behind the enemy's defenses and penetrate those defenses deeply. And if there's one thing that Lando is good at, it's deep penetration. Lando's first special ability takes advantage of the use of the BD Cutter Vibro Axe, which was a sophisticated melee weapon. It had a vibrating head, hollow Durasteel shaft, and dampeners to reduce unnecessary vibration. It had a quick release switch that helped the user stay in the fight. With this heavy rod in Lando's hands, he can penetrate the enemy's armor deeply vigorously and do a great deal of some real damage. Lando's second special ability shows his commitment to saving his friend Han. While Lando was in Jabba's employ, he had to work with the Hutt's minions. So, this ability helps both the dark side allies, who were also part of the Hutt cartel, and the light side allies, who were around to help liberate Han. Now, Lando's only unique ability seems to have everyone on his team penetrate deeply, but maybe not as deeply as him, because no one penetrates like Lando. Well, that's it for me, folks. Stay tuned next week for more Storytime with Uncle Thad on the Escape Podcast for Kids. Hello, friends. This is Thaddeus from Going Nerdy, and I approve this message and am compensated for signups for this service.
The world's largest audiobook library is at your fingertips, and the Escape Pod Castaways wants you to try it for free. Head on over to escapepodcastaways.com and click the Going Nerdy offer button to claim a free audiobook and 2 Audible originals. Cancel anytime, and it's absolutely free to sign up. Check out Audible and support the Escape Pod Castaways. All for free. See Audible website for details. Restrictions may apply.
Hey there, listeners. Merchandise specialist Critty K here. Do you enjoy the Escape Pod and want to support the channel and get something a little extra for yourself as well? Head on over to tpublic.com/user/theescapepodcast and grab a Team Neil, Team Paul, Critty Play, or many other fun Padawan designs on your choice of shirt, cup, sticker, mask, or even a magnet. And be sure to check out the Mrs. Anthony Shirts channel on the Escape Podcast Discord and get the latest info on the other designs I make as well. Sometimes there's even a sale going on, so it is smart to stop on by. Thank you for supporting the Escape Podcast.
Attention, we are receiving an incoming transmission. Attention. Attention. We are receiving an incoming transmission.
Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the show. This week's incoming transmission does not need any introduction. He really, really doesn't. It's RangerJ1999 from RSG, you know. They've been doing the longest running weekly Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes show for like forever.
Yeah.
You know, he's always there for the Jedi Academy on the weekends and the evening stream that always, you know, can always get a bit spicy on a Wednesday evening. And then obviously all of the lunchtime streams as well. So hello, Ranger. Welcome to the show again.
You've missed something though, Neil.
What?
He's your co-host for GA Center.
And of course, he's my co-host for GA Center, of course, yes. Yeah. Yeah. Completely. Yeah, I totally forgot about
that. Yeah, man. What's going on, fellers?
Yeah,
we're just talking about the stuff that got dropped in the news today, basically.
I mean, boy. Oh, boy. Yeah, I was actually in the middle of my Chinese lesson, and someone said, "Did you see this?" I said, "Saw what?" And then I looked, I'm like, "Oh, no." Dropping it on a Friday like it's hot.
Yeah, quick.
The news goes to die.
Quick thoughts on it.
It seems again out of touch. And now for part of it, I get what they're saying in the sense that, you know, when they're saying that they're listening, they are listening. The suggestions that are on there and the changes that they made, I saw come from content creators, forum posts, things of that nature. That's kind of the stuff that there's part of this where it's like people are saying we hate Datacrons, but if you're going to keep them, this is what we want. So in some regards, and I know the devs are listening, and I know that they're looking at that feedback. So in part they're listening, but then the other part, it's like you can't say we're listening and miss the other half of the stuff that we're requesting. Not having GLs as part of Datacrons, you know, the stats, and not really understanding the game. This new set of Datacrons, and we just had Vader, which we had to get through with this ridiculous health still. Welcome to Dodge.
Dodge
welcome to
meta.
the Dodge meta. That ought to be super fun. I bet everybody's super happy about that. The thing that you guys touched on in your in the segment when you were covering their stuff, Datacrons, whatever they wrote in that post, I don't have it in front of me, where they said Datacrons are a fun, exciting way to adjust meta and give new life and purpose to characters who may no longer be in your rotation. What the hell are you talking about?
I know.
Like, which characters are you talking about? When did Rey, the queen of defense in GAC and TW, get out of my rotation? Please tell me. I don't know when that happened. I'm pretty sure JMK's been the meta team for a while, so I don't know what you're talking about. So, I mean, it's just stuff like that. It's like, in one part, you're like, okay, you are listening. There are some changes. Cool. And then the other part's like, you're just completely ignoring what the vast majority of players and content creators that are playing this game are giving you as feedback. It's not being heard. So they can try to spin this however they want, but when it comes to Datacrons, I mean, this game's bleeding players right now. It really is. I mean, I've had so many people that have quit here recently because they can't keep up with the Datacrons, and they don't want to keep up with Datacrons, and it's completely made the game not fun. What's the point of going in if this person, one, rolled Datacrons, and two, when you roll Datacrons with the RNG, if you get the right kind of stats for those Datacrons? I mean, Rey with the 75% hair of the Jedi, we can go to the Stunacron, we can go to the 25% turn meter. If you got them, you have somewhat of an advantage. If you didn't, you're just basically banging your head against the wall. So I mean, it's bad. I mean, and I like some of the changes they made here for Datacrons, but the other parts that we really wanted to see, like the GLs,
that was to me, that was the biggest one. That was the biggest one. That was the biggest fault, was GLs on the Datacrons. If they'd given us set 4 and there was no GLs in there, then we could really say, thank you, bravo, CG, you've removed the GLs from set 4. Thank you. That is one of the big things that just that one tiny little gesture would have appeased the community to a massive degree, because it's the one thing that we've been saying over and over again for the last 3 months. Remove GLs. That one thing on that one set, and they didn't do it. The easiest, simplest goddamn thing in the entire world, and they didn't do it.
Then I don't understand why. I mean, if you are listening to feedback, I mean, you guys listen to feedback. We talk to everybody. Everybody talks to everybody. I mean, GL, that was on the top of the list of things. If you were going to keep Datacrons, stop putting GLs in there. They don't need it. It really makes fights really difficult, and just not fun. People are not engaging in GAC, and the stats in the GA Center are just ridiculous.
Oh God,
They're
we
so
cover
horrible.
all the content. It's I've never seen so many 1 and 2s from people who we know are good at this game. Up until a certain point, they were doing absolutely sterling work. I mean, it's like seeing the playbook and Calvin Awesome and Gom getting 1 and 2s and 0 and 3s here, there, and everywhere. It's like these are like the creme de la creme. You give them an account and you put them against something that's even a little bit better than them, and they can crush it, because they know the ins and outs. You throw in these Datacrons, and it's clearly it's eating away at the skill. It's clearly eating away at the skill.
I mean, tonight I did my GAC, and once again, Ray gave me problems. Luckily, it wasn't the Hellsteel Ray, so I could 2-shot it. But Hellsteel Rays with any kind of fast ultimate or that Hair to the Jedi one are damn near impossible unless you use JMK. But the problem is when you're in Kyber 1 and you're at that level, you have to really think, what am I going to use? And it's dictated by the Datacrons that they have. Now, in one regard, with the Datacrons coming out, Band's just OP as hell right now. I mean, I'm kicking the snot out of Lord Vader's with that Datacron. Mm-hmm. So in that regard, it's like, okay, I see what you wanted to do with Datacrons, but the stuff, but that's about to be useless, because if this dodge mechanic and stuff that's coming out in this next set, it's like, okay, so I guess that's not going to work again. So I guess my Fennec counter is just down the toilet. I think that's a lot of things that's frustrating for people. You want us to invest in characters, you want us to invest in mods, you want us to invest in gear and relic levels, and we do all that stuff, and we bust our ass farming this stuff, and we get a counter, and we get set. Here comes Datacron, says, all that work you just did, and for the next 3 however long months, it's not going to work.
Yeah, it's not going to work.
And I just don't think it's creating the dynamic that they thought it was going to create. When Omicrons came out, we talked about this, Nev. Omicrons are great. I love Omicrons. Yeah. I think Omicrons were a fantastic addition. I think most of the community thinks Omicrons are a fantastic addition. That really changed the dynamics in TW and GAC with some of the lesser, and it did what it was supposed to do. It made some of these lesser teams more viable, and it made you kind of think the board more,
exactly.
with everything.
I just want to point out that that's exactly what they're trying to say that they're doing with Datacrons. But Omicrons are doing the job. So why did these come out?
I don't know. I mean, I don't have a good explanation. I mean, if anybody does, it's frustrating, because the thing that it's frustrating too is there's the skill rating system that needs to be tweaked, because so we're seeing matchups that are still lopsided with the skill rating. You throw this on top of the Datacron stuff, right? And it's just it's too much for players, and when you tie crystals now to GAC, we don't mind having things, change and things of that nature, but Datacron so drastically changed the board, that it's not fun. Most of the people I talk with are not having fun. The people that defend Datacrons, they're few and far between, and even when they do, it's more that they like the idea of Datacrons, but they want to see the changes. So we got some of those changes, but we didn't get the ones that you guys mentioned, like the GLs and things of that nature. So I think that's a frustrating thing as well.
Yeah, I've tried to defend Datacrons just because I want to give them a chance. They're running their chance very thin, but.
Yeah,
just like we did with the Crumb interview. Nev, do you have anything else to say about Datacrons? Because we're gonna ban that word here.
Yeah, no,
I don't blame you.
I'm all done with Datacrons.
All right,
I don't blame you,
Ranger.
Sir.
What is the thing that you're looking forward to in Galaxy of Heroes? Are you excited by Profundity or Jabba, or is there something else on the horizon that makes you salivate?
Both actually. I mean, and you can throw Ben Swallow in there.
So you do like Ray's Conquest counterpart.
Oh my God, if you've seen his stats, his special damage with no mods is 11,500.
Oh jeez.
He's going to be nasty. I know the version that's in Conquest is it's a watered down version, so we're not really seeing it. But
with it, it's
oh my God, you throw R2 with Ben and Ray together. I'm just telling you, folks, his damage is going to be ridiculous, and it's going to have to make us rethink our C counters. But yeah, Ben Swallow looks incredible. Malgus is incredible. I know a lot of people were poo-pooing him in 3v3, and I kept telling like, y'all wait till 5s, man. He's not getting all his stats because it's 3s. It's a different animal altogether. But in 5s, he's really proven. The only conquest, whether it's the ships or the character, the only one that's been kind of is been Dad Bod Boba Fett. But every other character has been incredible. The ships have been incredible. Razor Crest, top notch. The TIE prototype interceptor has been incredible.
Yeah,
I mean, that ship is unbelievable,
and it's good in an executor squad too, which is crazy.
It can be. I think just from my experience in the way I run with the folks that we do, I mean, Executrix, that ship is a dynamite. It does the cooldowns. Same thing with Chimera, but I just think Executrix is just, I've gotten so many ridiculous holes with that ship coming right in on that reinforcement, doing that cooldown reduction, all that stuff. It's nasty. It's really a tough ass fight. But you look at the Conquest characters, and I'm excited for Ben Swallow. I was shocked, and I give CG a lot of credit. The requirements so far for Jabba, just really, really very doable. I mean, Relic 3s and Relic 4s, I did not see that coming. I mean, I know like we have Aurora and Jaw in there, but Relic 3. Okay, cool. I mean, I was shocked that was the requirements. Now we still have one more round to go, but that's been a pleasant surprise. I'm very happy for Profundity because I think we're all sick of Executor, having something else to take that turn out consistently. Because I do use the First Order and Rebel counter, depending on the lineup, religiously in TWGAC, things of that nature. But it's not a hard counter because it's only like 60 to 70% win rate on that. It's nice because you do take out shifts when you use it, so you can do a 2-shot on the Executors. But it's not. I'm hoping Profundity is like they said, it kicks the crap out of it on offense and vice versa. So it'll be like Negotiator Malevolence, and I'm okay with that.
So you were when you get the Profundity, are you going to be dumping it on defense?
I don't know yet. I have to think about that on strategy because I am using Executor on defense. I may keep it for offense because I'm still putting my top ship's defense down, right? Because I've got the counters in place. So I may keep it so I can move some of my other counters to other teams that are a little bit more effective. If I can take out their Executor, great. Then I can use First Order for this, or Rebels for this, or Malevolence for this now. I mean, I can move some pieces on the board around. So yeah, but we have some work to test on that because it's dividing up the ships. So, some of those ships that we use for the Admiral Akbar fleet are going to be moved over to Profundity.
Profundity, yeah.
Yeah, and we still haven't, I'm still shocked at this. We still haven't got Ravenclaw free to play, farmable yet. I don't know what's up with that. That ship's been like out for ages. I mean, we had the Galactic Chase win June or May or whenever that was for Ravensclaw. It's been a while, man. We haven't got it for we're getting into September. It's been a hot minute since that ship came in, and we haven't had any farming on it. So unless I did my math wrong, which is a high possibility, I have brain damage. Yeah, I'm shocked that thing hasn't come free to play yet. Which will be another hard node, ship farm, whatever it is. So I'd be sort of shocked if they put it in Cantina. So, but yeah, I mean the characters are great. I love Jabba. I think the characters are really good. The kits look really good. I'm ready for Profundity, so I'll go into the Jabba farm here. I've already started to. It's really the only thing that's going to slow me up is the marquees. I just don't spend $300 anymore on a character in this game. I just don't. I'll wait till it goes into shipments. I'll save my crystals, and I'll use crystals to get the characters to 7 stars. But the other problem that I'm running into, and I know you guys hear this all the time, I'm tapped out on salvage. I'm literally down to nothing. I mean,
salvage is not an easy thing to come by these days.
It is horrible. It is horrible. I mean, if you think about it, after 6 GLs and the ships that required all the high relics and Star Killer and Paul, I did the Inquisitors too. I
watched that. I watched that live stream, and it was it was the most painful event I think I've ever watched. I've never watched a more boring legendary. I mean, just watching it, Jedi, basically it was the Grand Inquisitor and then a Jedi and then the Grand Inquisitor again and another Jedi, and it's like, is there going to be no quirky story, no cinematics?
No,
it was just. It seemed it came across as rushed out, which is strange because
they had 6 months.
The mentioning of the Grand Inquisitor was over 2 separate posts 6 months apart. So on that occasion, it was like, what on earth is going on with this? Here's the thing, people can get tied up in the hype of a character. Because everybody was predicting that the Grand Inquisitor was going to be just OP as hell because the requirements were so high, so lofty. Those relic 5 requirements. So everybody was like, everyone's thinking we're Star Killer level destruction in GAC and stuff like that, and then it didn't, and they continued to tweak the Inquisitor's abilities, a little bit by a little. They kept on making these little adjustments for more purge, and another adjustment for more purge, another adjustment for more purge, and it never seemed to do, this massive amount of destruction against Jedi teams that we were, anticipating.
I mean, it can in TW if you have the Omicrons and stuff, but I mean, who's going to make that investment? I mean, for TW, when there's, especially when they keep dropping some of these really, I just put the Radis Omicron on since I am getting Profundity. He's really not, that team is dynamite on defense and offense. That team is gross. So yeah, it's just one of those things, it's just a little bit hit and miss. I mean, you looked at what they did with Starkiller and the characters that came in with Starkiller. They made all their teams better, really fantastic characters. Starkiller is amazing. The team's amazing.
The event was amazing.
The event was amazing.
The event was awesome.
But yeah, the problem I had with the Inquisitor event, as you said, you go in, and I went in there with God mods. I mean, I had it maxed to the tits going in, The first 2 rounds are not hard. The last round's not hard, but it's those middle rounds where you're facing Yoda and Ahsoka and Maul and that ilk, and it's RNG. It's the gas event again. It's just basically RNG. If you get the right kind of just at the right moment at the right time, you can win. If not, then you're taking. I mean, the thing that most frustrated me is like you go in and the Grand Inquisitor was killing your team before you even got to the second phase.
Yeah,
you're like, well, that attempt's over. Let's start over, folks. Here we go again. So yeah, I mean,
and there was constant chatting between live streams because there were so many people live streaming that event. And it's like, oh, I'm stuck on this. Oh, and there would be a message from someone in a chat on one stream to a chat in another stream saying, oh, quick, switch to this sister in the lead for this one. It was like there was like 4 or 5 live streams for that event, all simultaneously going on Twitch, on YouTube, and people talking about, Solo just did that one using this in the lead, switch to that, and then you would switch to it, and yeah. I think that was the only fun part of that was the only fun part of that legendary event, with so many people simultaneously streaming it, haranguing it, but then obviously helping each other out by saying, I was able to do this phase with this team, and just helping everybody along to get to the end, sort of thing. It was fun.
So Ranger, RSG is known for a lot of charity. You guys support St. Jude, you support ACS, you support the Wounded Warrior Project. I mean, you inspired me to be charitable as well. So, but I really want to know. I want to get excited for what's next. So, what do you have coming up next with RSG's? What is it? Philanthropic efforts?
Yeah, we've raised a lot of money over the years through the community for lots of stuff, right? I mean, and we're mainly partnered with the American Cancer Society. We started with help them create the Gamers Against Cancer. So there's a bunch of streamers now that are constantly doing streams and raising money for the ACS, and we help facilitate that, because when we first started, we raised so much money, the ACS is like, wow, this is something we could really tap into. I'm like, yeah, you could, and kudos to Finn and working with the ACS and going there and having meetings with them. So we've got that started now. November 5th, not 100% confirmed, but pretty confirmed. I'm going to be going down to Orlando, hooking up with Finn, and we're going to have a weekend down there, and we're going to have a Magic the Gathering tournament. Hopefully have the ACS folks there. We're trying to finalize those details.
Is Crumb coming out?
No, I don't think so. Papa Crumb got a little bit too much on his plate right now. So we're going to try to get a Magic the Gathering tournament. It'll be a live stream. We'll try to raise more money as we do every year for the ACS. So there's that. Whenever Crumb's doing his stuff, for the community, I've done a couple of the folks from Capital Games. Crazy, she was on, and I helped her raise money, and then whenever Crumb's on, he melts my brain with those ridiculous puzzle games he plays, and
I love them. I love them. I love puzzle games.
I know he's so into that stuff. But we've helped him raise money and helping them. So whenever there's a chance, I mean, in the past we've raised money for Wounded Warrior, we've raised money for suicide prevention. There was a stuff that happened with Minnie. You mentioned St. Jude.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Minnie stuff, and so that was incredible when the community came together, raising $25,000 we raised through that stuff. Yeah, that was pretty impressive. And And that just talks, I mean, the efforts here from us, but I mean, it really comes down just to the charitable nature of this community. I mean, I still think it's one of the most giving, kindest, all things set aside. Yeah, we get in here and we'll bitch and moan and get angry, or we'll be happy, or whatever our mood is. But at the end of the day, when push comes to shove, when there's time to do some stuff to help others, this community is the best ever. I mean, they come in like just bulldozers and will help raise money. And it's crazy the amount of money we've raised over the years for charities and stuff. And I couldn't get more prouder.
Fun donating to charity to make you wear the Revan suit for longer and longer and longer and longer. People just, enjoy paying to see you suffer. It's like, no, Ranger, put it back on, put the helmet back on.
But it's given us an opportunity. Like, we went to the a few years back, we went to the Children's Hospital of Atlanta, and we were with the kids live streaming, and we were playing Battlefront, and I was dressed up as Darth Revan and had coloring.
That was an awesome
games.
Stream. That was so much fun.
The one kid wanted to make sure I was dead because I let him kill me as Darth Revan, and then he went over and just beat my ass with that lightsaber to make sure I was dead. It was so great. So yeah, it's just stuff like that. It's just a chance to give back. And giving doesn't mean necessarily monetary. I mean, your time, your effort, your energy. We've all we're all in a position someday, somehow we'll need help from someone. So it's I think believing you get back what you put in. Maybe one day, God forbid something happens to me, I may need help, and I hope that there's, because of our work, that maybe I get the help that I need. It's important.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the ACS helped Christy, so.
Oh yeah. I mean,
so you have helped, unexpectedly getting the help back. What do you have coming up on your channel, on Twitch and YouTube? What, are you sticking to the schedule still?
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. I mean, the only thing that's different is like when I do this show or I jump on Heinz's show, because me, I'm always bouncing around the community, doing someone else's show. So whenever I get asked, or, whether it's the battalion or you guys or, whoever, I'm more than glad. I try to make sure that I can, most times I can, I'll make time to be on the shows, right? It's just what we do. But we're pretty consistent. I try to be as consistent as humanly possible because, people like consistency, a consistent time. So Monday through routine. Yeah, the routine's important. So Monday through Friday, we have the lunch stream, and that's just me hanging out during lunch hour. But everybody just brings something fun to listen to. We do a lot of different stuff on those days for each day. And like Tuesdays, I do mini roster reviews. You don't have to do anything. You just pop in, give me your ally code. What are you looking at? What advice can I give you? Mods, it doesn't matter. Maybe direction. But that's the lunch stream. Now Wednesday, of course, is the longest running live stream. That's going on 6 years plus. And then Saturdays we do the Jedi Academy, which is the show where we bring any content creator that wants to come on with us. They get in there and we spend 2 hours just answering questions. And that's letting the content creators, because a lot of times when they're streaming, you guys know, I mean, you don't get a chance sometimes to do questions. You're doing GAC or something, and
or we're all streaming at the same time and we can't interact with each other. We get to do that on the Jedi Academy. So,
and any content creator is welcome. I mean, it's not hard. You just show in, speak your piece, and don't be an ass clown, and you can talk and answer as many questions as you want. I mean, it's a fun thing, and that was started by Smithy back in the day. But we took over it pretty quickly, I think, after a couple of episodes, because we were streaming it. We were just on his channel. I was streaming it to his channel. But then, Smithy, stopped playing, and then we took it over. So 270 shows later, we're still doing the Jedi Academy. RSG Wednesday night stream is at, my God, 300.
We're halfway there. 100. Today's episode 183.
Nice. Yeah.
So
it doesn't seem like a number until you see the number. You're not paying attention to that crap until either someone brings it up to your attention, like, you're about to hit the so-and-so. Really? Like the 300 episode, I didn't even know it was coming. I wasn't even paying attention to that. It just was the routine of just what's going on this week. What's the news? What do we got going on? I mean, what's happening, and then all of a sudden said, what are you doing for the 300 episode next week? Is it the 300 episode next week? I had no idea. I wasn't really paying attention to that crap. So yeah, it's cool that you can string that along.
I wholeheartedly agree. Nev, anything else before we let Ranger get back to his bourbon?
No, let's allow Ranger to get back to his bourbon.
Ranger, thanks for coming on. Stick around. The latest episode of Dickie and the Noob is coming up after the break, or during this break, and then we will get into Patreon's choice right here on the Escape Pod cast.
HotBot in HotUtils is one of the most comprehensive tools for Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes.
With integration into the super useful mod tool Grand Ivory, HotUtils can help you tackle some of the most difficult aspects of the game.
Not sure how to mod your roster for a certain game mode?
Use one of the many filters that automatically assigns the right mods to the right character in accordance with your guild needs.
Now with the digital features that can assist you and your guild officers in territory battles and territory wars, HotUtils is an amazing value.
And don't forget the useful tools for yourself in Grand Arena, like the in-depth and customizable compare feature.
Got multiple accounts like Neil, but not the time to remod them all?
With this one-stop utility, you can switch between your alts and never miss a mod upgrade or a mod switch before locking into GAC or territory wars.
Starting at just $5 a month, you don't want to miss out on these great tools.
HotUtils is the new official remodding service for the Escape Pod cast.
Visit HotUtils.com to learn more. That's HotUtils.com. And go ahead and spice up your Galaxy of Heroes experience.
Podawans, be sure to support the shows brought to you on the Escape Podcast Twitch and YouTube channel by becoming a Patreon. For as little as $2 a month, you can support us and get a little extra for yourself. With tiered rewards including access to Shitty Bill's Arena Tracking Bot, after-show access, inclusion in the GA Center leaderboards, behind-the-scenes access, and much more. There is something for everyone on our Discord server. Head on over to Patreon, that is patreon.com/The Escape Pod, and sign up today. Thank you for supporting and listening to the Escape Podcast.
Previously on Dickie and the Noob, and now the continuation. Don't freak out, noob. I had Yarmo install a multiverse drive on your motherboard. All we need is to find a reality where Hondo isn't missing, and boom, we've got him.
Not as confused as I am about the fact that we are now made out of blocks.
Whoa, we are. This is pretty different. Rowan, do you know somebody by the name of Hondo Onaka by any chance?
I do! I know exactly where to find him.
Seriously? Can you bring us to him?
Follow me!
And now...
Dickie, why did you summon me? Do you have any progress to finally report?
I do. I actually found Hondo.
Seriously?
Yeah, I found him hiding in the multiverse.
Multiverse. So, is this even our Hondo?
Well, he's a little different.
What do you mean a little? That is a Lego minifig.
I assure you, I am the real Hondo Onaka.
In your whole minifig world, maybe, but I can't scan a Lego Hondo onto the holotables. That won't work. Besides, the royalty fees would be astounding.
Royalty fees? You've never heard of piracy? Now that is the way.
Piracy. You're an inch and a half. How would you even fight?
That is a fair point.
Look, Dickie, I'm pouring a lot of crystals into financing this expedition. I'm expecting better results than this. I want Hondo on my holotables now. Do you have any leads?
We did find his daughter.
His daughter. Can she fight?
Well, she fights with Noob all the time, but that's more with her mouth.
So I'm no closer to getting Hondo on the holotables.
Well, I think we have an opportunity. Hear me out. What gets a pirate's attention more than anything else?
I don't know. The sea?
Nah. Booty.
Fair enough.
And who has the biggest booty in the galaxy? Jabba the Hutt. And Jabba is finally coming to the holotables, and he's looking to put a crew together.
How does that help us?
We put up an announcement. Jabba is putting a crew together of the worst scum and villainy in the galaxy. Richest contracts Jabba has ever put out? There's no way Honda will be able to resist coming out for that.
All right, I see where you're going. I like it.
All right, I'll get started right away.
Great. Don't mess this up. You two be nice to each other, damn it.
Wait, was that Paul?
Yeah.
And he didn't even want to say hi to me. How rude. I always love to hear that guy's voice. There's something so familiar about it, you know?
Yeah, well, we're really busy. We gotta get to business right away, noob. We gotta get a dispatch out ASAP. Would you rather bare-knuckle box a Wookiee than fight Rey one more time? Would you rather drink whatever disgusting milk Luke does rather than fight him again? Would you rather milk Kylo Ren's nipples and have to endure one more battle with him? Does a battle with Obi-Wan Kenobi make you doubt the existence of any sort of deity? Does the idea of fighting Anakin again make you want to lock yourself in your room with a My Chemical Romance CD? Does all of the Sith make you lose all of your dank ferrix? Well, don't just stand there feeling sorry about it. It's time for a new sheriff to come into town. That's right, Jabba the Hutt is entering the holotables and is poised to take down the meta. But what he needs is you. He needs you to come help in the fight. So don't just sit there. Join in and become a member of the Hutt Cartel. Open auditions will be held next month on Tatooine's Got Talent. That's right, we're going to be testing all of your scoundrel skills, whether it be shooting, lying, stealing, deception. Prove that you have what it takes to help Jabba take over the meta. And best of yet, this will be the biggest contract Jabba has ever put on the table. So come collect your bounty next month, right here on Tatooine's Got Talent. Only the worst scum and villainy need apply. Pirates preferred.
You're listening to the Escape Pod Cast.
And welcome back to the last segment of the show. It's Patreon's choice. It's question time. So, we got any good ones?
Yeah, the first question is actually submitted by Subtle Dagger with channel points. So
Okay.
if you've watched us long enough, you can send us a question just like a Patreon can. Top 3 Star Wars comic story arcs that should be put on screen.
Well, the original, definitely the original Thrawn trilogy, because that was an excellent story arc.
Agreed.
That was a really, really good story arc.
But,
not like doesn't have to be live action. I'd be quite content with animated.
well, you do know that somebody's computer animated Heir to the Empire so far.
Yeah, I've seen.
Okay.
Yeah, I've seen that one. But what I mean is, I still, Disney and Marvel have always, Disney and Marvel and Lucasfilm under Disney have always been leaps and bounds ahead when it comes to, tapping into markets at various different points. But the one market that they haven't tapped into is the market that DC has a stranglehold on, and that is the animated movie. They keep doing these animated movies. They've done Batman. They've done Superman. Red Sun was just incredible. It's a cartoon. It's a cartoon movie. But they do it as an animated thing because it's like, it's not part, well, obviously it's not part of, live action. So it's just a random, Superman
it's a story.
And
yeah, it's a work
it's just
of
a
fiction.
story. And Lucasfilm don't think, thousands of
Well,
books,
they did.
thousands of stories. Why don't we cash in and get a really, really good animation team? Oh, hang on a moment. Don't we own an animation team? Yeah, let's give all of these stories to them and say, animate them so that we can put them on Disney Plus.
Royalties. There's your answer. Anyway, Heir to the Empire. We've covered that. What else?
Okay, yeah.
What other comic?
Definitely the Tag and Bink trilogy.
Okay.
Because that would just be hilarious animated. I think that would be very, 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 very funny.
And I'm waiting to hear the one that I'm hoping you're going to say.
It's probably not going to be the one.
Go ahead.
No, I would have liked to have seen the Han Solo trilogy.
Okay.
Showdown at Center Point. But basically, the reason why it's such a good story is because all three of their kids, so their kids are basically toddlers and small children, wandering around. It's all based around Corellia. So there's Han Solo's family members are involved. There's the political intrigue from going on there, the revolution. It's just that the whole trilogy is set in basically one system. It's Han Solo's home planet. So it's a story arc that is, yeah, sure, it's got Luke and it's got Leia and it's got the usual gang in it, but its focus is Han Solo's home world and the system that he comes from. So I think that would make a great TV. That.
All right, so mine is going to be the New Thrawn trilogy. It was a book. They adapted the first book to a comic. Even just the first book, I would love to see that. Obviously, Captain Phasma, her story arc didn't get told, so I'm a little bit bitter on that. But her comic and book presence were great, and comic turned into a movie. I'm going to pull from what I thought you would have said, and that's the Star Wars Infinite stories.
Yeah. They would make great little animated. Exactly. They've already done What If in the Marvel Universe. There are 3 stories, right, ready to go. All they've got to do is storyboard it and animate it and turn those 3 comics into 3 specials on Disney Plus. Star Wars fans will eat those things up.
Oh, yeah. All right. Next are Zaz's questions. He's unable to join us live, so he sent a few in ahead of time. Top 3 Kurt Russell films, and we got to be quick on these because we're getting long on time.
Are we? Okay. Big Trouble in Little China. Definitely that one. Escape from New York. And probably Overboard.
Okay.
There you go.
Sky High.
No, not Overboard. Soldier.
Okay, I'm gonna go Sky High because I love the kid ones. I'm surprised you didn't say The Thing. Really surprised.
I was going for the early stuff anyway. I've only got 3 choices.
And then, of course, I love comedy. Captain Ron. Definitely Captain Ron.
Captain Ron. Okay.
All right. Al Pacino films.
Oh, okay. Al Pacino things. Well, I mean, it's got to be The Godfather. Just all the Godfathers. That just counts as one. The Godfathers just counts as one. Sense of a Woman. I really, really, really like that one because he was acting as a blind person. So he was acting with but his, so he made up for, being blind with all of this gusto, and it was I just thought it was a really, really good one. So Sense of a Woman. But I mean, it's a chick flick, but it's got Al Pacino in it, so you can be excused if you're a dude for watching it. You don't get your you don't get your dude card taken off you.
What else you got? Last one.
Let's see. Third and fine. Al Pacino. Scarface.
Okay.
It's got to be Scarface.
All right. Since you took that one, I'm gonna change one of mine up. I was gonna say Scarface. Devil's Advocate.
Oh, yeah, no, yeah.
Devil's Advocate, Ocean's 13, and Dick Tracy.
Dick Tracy,
Dick Tracy. Top 3 Danny Glover films.
Oh, Danny Glover films. Okay, well, Lethal Weapon, obviously.
Okay, yeah.
Lethal Weapon's a given because it's like you get Lethal Weapon 1 and you get Lethal Weapon 2. And in both movies, he constantly says, "I'm getting too old for this shit." And I'm thinking to myself, dude, you're on franchise highway now. You're going to be saying that for Lethal Weapon 3, probably Lethal Weapon 4, maybe even a Lethal Weapon 5. So it's like, get over how old you are now. So definitely Lethal Weapon. Definitely, I thought he was brilliant in Predator 2. I really liked him in Predator 2 and probably The Color Purple.
Okay. I don't know if you've seen this horrible 2016 movie called Monster Trucks.
No.
Remember, I'm a fan of Mystery Science Theater 3000. Horrible movies and making fun of them while watching them is one of my pastimes. Monster Trucks is right up there. It's about trucks that are also monsters.
Trucks that are monsters.
Said.
Okay.
It's like Sharknado, but it actually had a budget.
Okay.
I'm going to have to duplicate Lethal Weapon because it's that good.
Yeah.
And I might as well go. Let's go 2012, just because it was fun.
Oh, just because it was fun. He was a terrible president in that movie.
Exactly.
Terrible.
We've seen it.
He was a terrible president.
We've seen that in real life. Top 3 Sandra Bullock movies, and then we got one last question from Zaz.
We're on to Sandy B, are we?
Sandra Bullock.
Okay. If we're on to Sandy B. Definitely Speed. Speed is number 1. Definitely. Without a shadow of a doubt, she was awesome in that one. And she worked well because if Keanu Reeves doesn't have a decent leading lady, you know, he can kind of go off the rails unless you want him to do that, you know, a 2-dimensional character. Right. So there's that one. I'll definitely go with what was the bloody model? The name, literally, I was about to say it. Miss Congeniality. Oh, God. Okay. The name just completely.
You're stealing some of mine, but that's okay.
Oh, that was weird. Miss Congeniality. I mean, apart aside from the fact that she was hot as balls in it, I thought, you know, that was great. And then I thought she was also really good in The Blind Side.
Damn, you took my number 1.
I took your number 1.
You took my number 1, Blind Side. I guess I'm gonna have to go with Demolition Man.
Oh yeah, she is good in that. Yeah.
Let's go with Bird Box and Gravity.
Gravity. Okay. Right. They're not as good as my 3, but they're all right.
Name 3 Jedi who are cool in the books but made to look lame in the prequels and sequels.
Okay. Well, no, because that doesn't make any sense. Because although I suppose it does, because all of the books about
prequels and sequels,
Master...
so just movies in this case.
Well, that's just.
Plo Koon.
Okay, so Jedi Master Luke Skywalker is awesome in the books, but crap in the movies.
There's one of your answers.
And what is it? Okay, character. You know, what is it? Han and Leia's eldest child, who was a boy, has the wrong name and is not as good a character as the written one. And I'll tell you another thing as well.
Fair enough.
While we're here, Anakin Skywalker, you know, the son of Luke and Leia, the son of Han and Leia, his sacrifice was so much better than Ben Solo's sacrifice. That's you know, that it was in the movie, ripped straight from the books, but not as good. And then let's see who else. A third character. Let's say Yoda from Episode 1, before they CGI'd him, and Frank Oz was doing the puppet man. It was awful. It was just terrible. It's like, why the hell didn't you CGI him? Because he looks all shiny and rubbery and not like 900 years old. So, yeah,
right.
so I'll go with that one.
3 Jedi who are cool in the books, but made to look lame in the prequels and sequels. Kit Fisto, Plo Koon, both of those. I mean, and we're going into the entire, office scene in 3, but Mace Windu, Shatterpoint, the book, the book that I'm looking forward to listening to.
Yeah.
He was made awesome in that, but, his coolest part in the prequels and sequels was him saying, "Take a seat." What do you got coming up on the channel, Nev?
I'll try and do some GAC, but it's going to depend on what my opponent puts down. If I see a JMK with a Datacron on it, I'm probably not going to stream it because it'll be a really, really short stream.
But instead, you'll stream runes.
But maybe I'll stream runes, yes.
There you go.
Definitely going to have some more time on my hand this weekend, so hopefully I'll be able to get some runes in this weekend.
Excellent. Hope to see that you do, because I know we have a gamer that was in here earlier. Hoping to see you too.
He pops in. He pops in and plays. He's on the USA servers, not the EU servers.
Yeah. For Vault 37, probably going to Cowabunga Collection comes out in 4 days. 4 days until the Cowabunga Collection, which is a collection of every single Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle console and arcade game.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So
that should be interesting.
Yes, definitely playing that in the original TMNT and Turtles in Time. Should be definitely a fun experience. Hopefully going to get that done. Other than that, taking a break. But an announcement next week. The Escape Podcast will be on Thursday, not Friday. And then hopefully followed on Thursday by GA Center. We'll find out.
Yeah.
If you still got the energy to do it.
Yeah.
So. All right. Anything else, Neil?
No, we're good to go.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate all of our Patreons, all of our subscribers. I do have to thank Dr. Feelgood for 500 bits and gifting a sub to What Else 73 as well. Abby Cat stopped by and dropped 500 bits. We had Cass with 100, Dr. Feelgood with 666, and the shiny nickel from Cass as well. So we thank everybody who supports the channel. Thank you, everyone. We will see you guys next time, and hopefully we'll see you guys on Thursday. Until then, be nice to each other, damn it. Neil?
Push the button.
Don't mind if I do.
What's going on? Where the hell are we? Paris?
Thank you for pressing the self-destruct button.
Attention! This is Colonel Sanders in forward command. Abandon ship! Abandon ship! All personnel proceed to escape pods. Close down the circuit. Evacuate the city. Self-destruct mechanism has been activated. Abandon ship! Where is it? Where is it? It's gonna be here. Out of order! Even in the future, nothing works.
This ship will self-destruct in exactly 10 seconds. Counting down. 10, 9, 8, 6.
6! What happened to 7?
Just kidding. 3, 2, 1. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Hello, friends. This is Thaddeus from Going Nerdy. The Escape Podcast was filmed in front of a live studio audience full of tweaked out murder bears.
Sit, Ubu, sit. Good dog.